Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to the Plaid Sheep Oracle. I am minded to say happy birthday. I don't usually do that. But happy birthday, Sagittarius season. You begin with this lovely card of manifestation. Who doesn't want that? Now, what's interesting is that the visible underlying is this worker card. But the worker card, right, this bee looks fantastical. And actually below this card is ascension, right, which is extra, kind of out of this world. Yeah. Whereas this manifestation bee looks much more real. Much more the way you would see a bee here on Earth. So there is something here about bringing the dream into reality. And also the energy that may need to be embraced for this to occur. The worker in this deck doesn't have an energy. The other cards, like this manifestation card, is an earth card. It's earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. I think this card has the circle of spirit. But the worker, the drone, and the queen cards don't have an element. So there's something too about not being attached to the element. The unseen underlying is harmony. And this is a water card. So there's water and earth, and then spirit, and under spirit is air with evolve. And then there's another spirit card. The element that is non-conspicuous is fire. And we're going to see that some more. First card, wolf spirit, family, and less about family and more about this wolf spirit. Right below him is manifesting dreams with this otter. So I think of the wolf as a very earthy energy. In this wild unknown animal spirit deck, the wolf is an earth card. And I'm going to go one more. Toadstools, growth, also very earthy. And then the bottom of the deck, Gemini was pulling, there was lots of stuff at the bottom of the deck, and you were repeating this. So the very bottom is grace, which is a very gentle energy. Grace doesn't rush around. Grace arrives peacefully. I took a walk yesterday, and it was kind of rainy here. There weren't too many people in the park, but there was a little boy by himself with a bucket and one of those string loop tools that you use to make really big soap bubbles. And he was practicing with his soap bubble. So, right, grace is like this soap bubble landing. Next to grace is energy. So there is, right, there's fire, but it's contained. And then there's this uncertainty card. So there's also a sense of, brace yourself for this word, Sagittarius, waiting. And possibly also patience. Deep breaths. I know, believe me. Got an Aries sun. I know how those two words are not really welcome. But then we have transmutation. And there is fire here, yes, with the Phoenix, but the focus is on the Phoenix itself, which is more earth and air. The Phoenix rises out of the flames, but then it is a very physical bird. And then we have this eagle spirit with freedom, more air energy. And also these two immediately made me think of Scorpio, because they are two of Scorpio's animals. Scorpio has three. Traditionally, the eagle is seen most often, right? In lots of tarot cards, there's in the world card, Scorpio is represented by an eagle. But people think of it as the scorpions. So the scorpion, the eagle, and then the phoenix at the end. And Scorpio does have the ability to be patient and to wait. Scorpio is a fixed water sign. And although it is a very fiery water sign, Scorpios can be, there is a patience to Scorpio, a kind of right, a willingness to wait and see something transform, the patience of alchemy. And then wisdom with yet another bird. And I'm thinking, that owls have these feathers and the feather arrangement that allows them to fly silently. And they don't make flapping noises. They just glide in and, death in the night for some small furry creature. So there's something about that too. Moving without a lot of fanfare, without a lot of noise. I'm going to turn a little bit of extra light on. Still rather cloudy here. Then the Hanged Man. And this particular Hanged Man, who is absolutely all set to just sleep for a long time. Often the Hanged Man looks sort of active. One leg is bent, the arms maybe out. Even though he's hanging there's an active sense to him. Whereas this Hanged Man is a bat ready to go to sleep. And below that we have this bear with some hibernation going on. And then below that we have both this owl again with the Son of Swords and the hawk. And also I'm going to go one more with the vulture. And in fact, there's a hyena here. And below that is the eagle. And these both feel also sort of scorpionic to me. The hyena is kind of and the vulture. Embracing alternative ways of moving through the world and alternative ways of, I don't want to say doing, because part of it is sort of not doing. But alternative ways of managing and manifestation. The bottom of this deck has the Father of Cups, Scorpio, this crocodile who really knows how to wait in absolute stillness for the right moment. Then this Judgment bird, right? What is the right moment? When is the signal to move? And then the Ace of Swords. So this is not some sort of permanent state of affairs you are asked to embrace. You are not, becoming Scorpio. You're just borrowing. You're borrowing this energy for a while. You're adding it to your repertoire. This ability to wait, to be still, to not be rushing about, to allow. I'm kind of picturing this bee coming into being sort of slowly, dot by dot, pixel by pixel, kind of something that begins in spirit and then gradually becomes solid. And then we also have the cosmic egg. Waiting, right? The egg needs time. And it needs to not be disturbed. Eggs stay in one place, generally speaking. They stay, they're kept warm, they're kept safe, so that what is inside has time to become. And then, interestingly, we have this Mother and Father of Swords, two owls here with the egg. And they've got a nest here at the end with this Nine of Pentacles. So, right, this is another kind of family thing. To think of it, Sagittarius, as parenting something, right? As nurturing this egg until it hatches into this Nine of Pentacles, all of these 9 pentacles. And that may be, whatever it is that you want. Money, time, resources, whatever it is. I mean, money's good because, with money you can get all the other things. It might actually be children, if that is your desire. Certainly you would not, once you were pregnant, you or your partner is pregnant, then you have the ability to wait, right? You can, you watch the thing happening, you know that it's 9 months. But this is even the part before that. Something needing to hatch, even before conception of a child. That other aspects maybe need to come into place. Maybe if you're the one getting pregnant, your body needs to be ready. It's a major thing. I have never had children, but I have friends and family. I've watched them experience this. The body needs strength for pregnancy. It uses a lot of resources of the body. So you may need to be ready. And if it's not that, if it's anything else, if it's a pile of money or a new house or a new job or any of these things, there is a gestation process for that too. And it may be that a kind of, you know, foot tapping impatience is actually slowing things down. It can, you know. I'm sort of thinking, you know, if you planted a seed and you kept going out there and digging the seed up to see if it had sprouted yet, you'd be slowing the process. So then we have the Chariot. And although the Chariot is motion, but she's not very speedy. You know, she's traveling on a magic carpet. There's kind of a sense of real focus here. That she's, you know, she's got these two knights, chess knights, one in each hand. And she's really focused on keeping them, you know, levitating. And behind her is this both the Seven of Wands and actually this Seven of Cups. And maybe, right, this is, you know, impatience, perhaps some confusion, an emotional need for action. You know, we can have that. We can have an emotional need or emotional attachment to some process that we have. That has served us in the past, that's comfortable, that's comforting. And action is certainly one of those things, especially for the mutable fire signs. Right, the mutable fire sign and Aries as well. But I think in some ways Sagittarius even more. I mean, Aries likes to get started, and Aries does like to take action. It feels good to take action. But my impression is that Sagittarius has this even more. That for Sagittarius to be still can feel torturous. And indeed, all of the cards underneath, we have the Ace of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Four of Wands. So there's all this fire underneath that is wanting to express itself. I mean, it's even showing up in these cards that feel, you know, here I'm trying to talk you out of being fiery, and there's all this fire in places. But it's not that we don't want to put your fire out. We just want to manage it differently. And then we have both the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles coming out. So now we've had Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, and Queen of Swords. The queen that is missing is your queen, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Fire. You have her all, right? You're cool with her. In fact, you know, this might almost be her, right, in her red dress. That you're, right, if you gaining wisdom, right, also here as this Phoenix. So you're being asked to take on some other energies, to learn, to get comfortable with, to build, right, to build this skill set where you feel really comfortable, even if you're doing something that feels not natural to yourself. But we all have these energies within us. We all have all 4 elements. Even if you have no planetary placements or angles in a earth sign, that earth is still within you. All right, this 3 of Pentacles. This focus on what is being created. And then this 10 of Swords, which is feeling not really so much 10 of Swords like. It's calling to mind that crocodile. The waiting. Being patient. And dare I say, learning to enjoy the process. I mean, it is the 10 of Swords, so one would feel, you know, that it might initially be really uncomfortable. But learning to really enjoy all the processes. And that it is absolutely possible to want, to desire the thing, the final outcome. And simultaneously, to enjoy the process. The 2 things are absolutely not exclusive of each other. One can love them equally. And I think it would make life much more pleasant, wouldn't it? To really enjoy all the processes. To enjoy the trip. I know Sagittarius, you know, you do enjoy the seeking, the travel, but your kind of eye may be always on that target. And if you get too focused, if you end up kind of in this tunnel visioned thing, then you miss everything that's happening around you. I'm actually thinking now of the Wizard of Oz. And, right, the 4 of them traveled down the yellow brick road, 5 if you include Toto. And there's a process. In both the movie and the book, there's this process that they need to go through. And we enjoy the process, we as the reader. And what's wanted is that you enjoy this whole process, seeing all these different things along the way. Watching this come into being, go through all the stages that it goes through before it becomes fully realized. Right before we arrive at this pentacle fully. All right, below him is this 6 of Wands, right? Kind of ready to go behind. The arrival of the pentacle. The bottom of this deck has a whole bunch of cups. And it's the Page of Cups and then the King at the end. And I feel like this 10 of Cups is not so much the destination. That this 10 of Cups is the process. It's the yellow brick road that the page travels on his way to becoming the King of Cups. So there is also this energy of maturity. Right? The Mother and Father of Swords, the Father of Cups, the King of Cups. This level of growth, maturity, expansion that you will receive if you take this path, Sagittarius, of really learning to enjoy the process, to sit in a more earthy, watery energy. And then we have these two, right? This Nine of Swords and Eight of Swords, which is right what it can feel like. No, just give me something to do. Just give me something to do. So finding the way through that, managing that. But on the other side of that is the Star and the Empress. What more could you want? Right? The Star, the vision, the inspiration, the guide, and then this Empress that manifests effortlessly, receives, is procreative, fecund, generative. Formal advice. And it's kind of interesting. It's coming from the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle. And we have here the Sibyl, which is about foresight. And I want to say that this is, right, this is holding the vision. There's nothing here that wants you to give up that final, you know, whatever the goal is. I don't know if you know who Simon Sinek is. He speaks about leadership and company culture and inspiration and various things. And he talks about the difference between a finite game and an infinite game. And that a company is really an infinite game, but that it might have, you know, finite goals within it. So it is absolutely, you want, right, you want to keep it in sight, in your heart, in your mind, this, right, whatever this manifestation is. Now below this is fear, and actually change as well with the werewolf. I think that sometimes we are really attached to the end goal because we're afraid we can't have it, or that we won't have it, or that if we don't reach for it immediately, if we don't have it immediately, that somehow it will never come. There's a scarcity fear mindset around that. You know, sometimes I've thought, oh, you know, I wish I'd bought several pairs of that jean or a couple of those dresses because I really like it. And that's understandable, but it implies that I'll never find another pair of jeans that I like. And we don't want that. Right? We want a process where I really love this pair of jeans and I'm going to wear them, you know, for as long as I want to wear them. And then when I'm ready, a new wonderful pair of jeans will be available for me. And I can really enjoy the process of them appearing. You know, maybe they show up in a really fun way. You know, or suddenly an ad for them, you know, appears everywhere in every feed that I have. Here they are. Just at the right moment. So this knowing, this understanding that that the right thing will be there, that we don't have to control everything, that we don't have to rush through it because we might not reach the goal if we don't. Then the bottom, and again, there's several cards. We have Circe with alchemy. So that sense of, right, of alchemy, of the process. Circe was a sorceress. So I imagine that she had processes that she went through in her magic. Then we have the Myrmidon with discipline. And, you know, discipline is kind of a difficult word because it implies forcing yourself to do something. There's a kind of, you know, mental whipping oneself into shape. But if you can think of it as sticking to the devotional path, as loving the process. And then the Morrigan with sovereignty. Kind of the Queen of Swords, but also kind of the Queen of Wands. She's a fiery sort of character. And then really the Queen of Wands. Kali with love. So loving all the things, loving the path, loving the process, being open to all that comes. Mithras, loyalty. Devotion. Making your whole life a devotion. You know, we have desacralized life. We've turned it into a series of operations, of tasks. You know, we've put it down in our calendars and we've, you know, got alerts and notifications and things, and we've made it really mechanical. And I think that has disconnected us. We've also, right, looking really into the future, and this is totally a challenge for me to be in the present, to not be thinking about the future, you know, not be planning what I'm going to do tomorrow, to just be here now. And I think that part of the reason that it's so difficult for us is because we've made everything so mechanical, so digital, so broken down into bits. We've lost the sacredness of life. And then Hecate, illumination. All right, Queen of Fire. There you are. I mean, yeah. Right, kind of this owl arrives with wisdom. Right, also, but more. So this, right, this process is not about putting out your own fire. It's about adding these other elements in. About wisdom, about sovereignty, about maturity, about devotion. Sagittarius. I think, right, you could be really formidable. You could be really formidable. If you can embrace these other energies, the ability to be still, to wait. And wait is, right, wait is sort of wrong because it doesn't involve or imply that kind of foot tapping energy. There's just the stillness, the being in the process. All right, the crocodile that is, still under the water until the moment. That it's just natural. There's no need for patience as such, because it is part of the process. Oh, Sagittarius. I hope you embrace this idea and allow yourself to take on these other skills and through this season. Jupiter is moving retrograde currently. He's your planet moving across the way. So I think this is a really good opportunity. I wish you the very, very best, Sagittarius, and I'll see you next time. So long.